All right, you guys. So it is your boy Ticket. Shouts out to everybody that's tapped on in, man. Like, share, and subscribe as y'all come on in the building. And I want to give y'all my thoughts on how I feel like this situation with Diddy is going to end up going down. But first, shout out to Jennifer Menzies with a $100 donation to the PayPal. Salute to you. And shout out to the brother Garrett in the Cash App with a $45 donation. And he asked me, what did I think? He asked me to do a video. What did I think the judge is going to end up doing after hearing the arguments today? And I'm going to tell you what I think the judge is going to do. And that's just my honest opinion. I'm not here to lie for nobody. I'm not here to cap. I'm not here to take sides. And I could be wrong. First of all, I don't think it's going to be an acquittal. I think the acquittal is out. So I don't think Diddy is getting an acquittal by no stretch of the imagination. But I believe there's a big chance that Diddy could get a new trial. And that's the last thing, in my opinion, that Diddy's going to want on these Mann Act charges. Because, and I'm going to tell you why. Because if Diddy gets a new trial on the Mann Act charges, to me, that's going to motivate the government to hit Diddy with more superseding indictments along the way. And it's going to get them, in my opinion, to hammer him even harder on this entire situation in a trial solely focused on that. Uh, I believe that there is a 50-50 chance, in my opinion, of Diddy getting a new trial or getting rejected and the judge saying you're going to have sentencing on October the 3rd. Uh, that's why I think the judge is taking a while to think about this. I think the judge is weighing all his options, and I think the judge is probably going to give Diddy a new trial, which Diddy doesn't think, but it's going to screw Diddy ass, man. Because I'm going to tell you something. The feds are going to come hard body at this dude uh, if the judge gives him a new trial. What do I mean? First of all, Diddy would still be locked up. He would not be free today. He would have to, I think, file a reappeal for freedom until his court date. And I don't think the judge is going to give it to him based off everything we've seen so far. And also, I believe, like I said before, I just think that, bro, it's going to be bad news. If he got to go through another trial for the man, bro, that's going to be bad news, bro. That's going to be bad news, man. And the reason why it's going to be bad news is because now they're going to bring everything else in there. What do I mean? I see the government. Because look what the government did, y'all. The government put not only Cassie and Jane as victims of the Mann Act, they put the other 8 male workers as victims as well. And that's the part where I'm telling y'all, you have to look at that part of what they did, bro. You have to look at that part of what they did. And that's going to destroy Diddy. Diddy thinks that because if he gets a new trial, he can fight and get people. And that's not, bro. Listen, let me tell you something. Diddy getting a new trial. Diddy getting a new trial is the worst thing. Him getting a new trial is the very worst thing. I'm gonna tell you why, man. I believe they're gonna charge him with more. Because remember, I told y'all this on that Art of Dialogue interview that he did with Clayton Howard. Clayton Howard said, all right, boys. Clayton Howard said that they were both victims. Who are you talking about, Ticket? Clayton Howard said that that not only were Cassie and Jen, he said that the sex workers were victims. Mm-hmm. And remember, he said in his lawsuit, and he also stated, apart from that, that Diddy told Cassie to go get the gun because he wouldn't comply. Yeah, Cassie would have to testify again, but this is not about RICO or nothing. This is about sex trafficking. I mean, not sex trafficking, the Mann Act. So here's the thing. Diddy don't want all that extra shit to be brought in. If the judge gives Diddy a new trial, the judge knows that they're gonna bring all that extra shit in on Diddy. I'm telling you, they're gonna have way more victims because listen, even in the write-up from the government, and I believe the government is prepared if the judge gives Diddy a new trial to hit this nigga with a sledgehammer. And you watch what I tell y'all on this. You watch what I tell y'all. And then how long do you think it's gonna take for Diddy to get a new trial? And for somebody who says BS, ain't no BS over here. I'm telling you what the truth is. You need to go read the paperwork. The feds put 8 new victims in there. They put victims, the actual guys that was getting paid for. They put them as victims for a reason. And when they go back to retrial, guess what? Those statements that they've used, either they gave to the government or they gave to in public interviews, are going to be used against them in court. Here's the thing with Cassie. Cassie won't be charged because Cassie's already been given immunity for all her testimony in this trial. So even if the sex workers go up there and say, yeah, Cassie was complicit too, it won't matter. Cassie already took she already cooperated with the feds. So she got full immunity. The person they're going to want to rack up is Diddy. That's a horrible, and Diddy fighting for a new trial is a horrible move in my opinion. Yeah. And you better believe they got more charges waiting on him. Now, you can get mad. You can go against what you think I'm saying. I'm telling you the real, bro. If the judge give Diddy a new trial today, you watch. In less than 3 or 4 weeks, the feds gonna come racked up on this nigga. No, a new RICO trial is not gonna happen. He's already been acquitted on that. The Mann Act. See? And I'm sorry, y'all, I'm eating lunch. My subscriber made me think about something. I'm gonna tell you what my subscriber made me think. When he asked me that question, I had to think because I've been reading and studying this judge. And I went back and I read the statements from the feds. The feds not only called Cassie and James victim in the Mann Act, they called 8 of the workers victims as well. If Diddy goes to a retrial and gets a new trial, man, they gonna hammer his ass. They're gonna hit that nigga with more. They're gonna hit him with even more charges on the Mann Act because now they're gonna be able to come back and add charges on to their case, right? And guess what? The guys who sued Diddy, Clayton Howard, and those guys who sued Diddy and Cassie, their lawsuits will be nullified if they lie in court. He's already said that he was a victim of Diddy and Cassie. He said that in open interview, and he said that in his lawsuit. So he can't go in court and now wing it for Diddy, or else his lawsuit is trash. I told you guys this morning, the worst thing Diddy wants is a new trial on the Mann Act. That's the worst thing he wants because that's going to give the feds more time. It's going to make, well, all it's going to do is set the feds up and give them more time to come with more shit and add it on to Diddy. This time, you got Donald Trump's guy, Jay Clayton there. They're going to try and charge that nigga right with way more shit. Watch. Way more victims. Watch. Mm-hmm. Yep. Now, I see why they called those 8 workers victims. I see why. And we don't know the whole statements they gave the feds. So the feds got them giving them statements, and then they try to change up and lie. Feds can charge them. Show their statements to the court. That'll destroy Diddy. Diddy had to take a gamble on this. I'm telling y'all, they would not bring a new prosecutor. The new prosecutor's already in there now. It's Jay Clayton. And Jay Clayton won it all on Diddy. No, that's civil cases, y'all. Unless the feds or the state police take that up on criminal charges, those are different things. But here's the problem Diddy's gonna have. If Diddy gets a new trial, guess what happens in 3 weeks, y'all? Guess what happens in less than 3 weeks? Lil Rod's evidence comes to the forefront because they start doing discovery in the evidence that Lil Rod got. So just like they picked up fed charges on Cassie, accusations against Diddy, now if Lil Rod come out with some serious evidence, which he say he got between that time and the time Diddy goes back to court, man, Diddy could get racked up for real because Lil Rod talking like he got the banger. See, I'm telling y'all this. Diddy's in trouble. So I think the judge, me personally, I think the judge may give him a new trial, knowing that the feds gonna come nail his ass with more shit. They gonna rack him up. His delusional followers will be happy but they won't know why that new trial was given. Get that nigga a new trial and add more charges onto that nigga, and charge all them other people that they said was victims as victims too. That's gonna mean that nigga gonna have 8 different counts against him. That's gonna be hard to overcome. Mm-hmm. Trust me. And you don't want to go twice with the feds. And I'm gonna tell you why. This time they're gonna sequester the jury and everything. I guarantee y'all they sequester the jury this time. How much y'all want to bet they sequester that jury? How much y'all want to bet? How much y'all want to bet they sequester that jury, y'all? We can make that bet. We damn sure can make that bet. How much y'all want to bet they gonna sequester that jury? Diddy getting a new trial? I told y'all yesterday. Best thing for the feds. Because now, anybody want to put money, they give Diddy a new trial. Jay Clayton is coming with way more. He coming with way more victims of the Mann Act. They gonna make that shit insurmountable. They gonna have so many superseding indictments hitting on that nigga. And here's the thing with Diddy: the case is not gonna be immediate. He's not gonna get it's not gonna be next week that he gets a retrial. See, I'm telling y'all something, man. I thought about this today, and I'm even more convinced. I told y'all yesterday. I said if Diddy gets a new trial, it's gonna be worse. I'm telling y'all this. The government got something up their sleeve if they get that nigga a new trial. I'm telling y'all this. And I was thinking, and I found it. And I told y'all yesterday and the day before yesterday, all the way up until when I heard he got it. I said, when I read that they had put 8 more people as victims, bro, that shit gonna be disgusting. Because now, in a new trial, they're gonna charge him with all those people. Because they got them dudes on record saying that they were victims too. And Clayton Howard, remember, he didn't testify in court. He testified that Diddy had a gun. That's gonna hurt Diddy even worse in a retrial. Especially if they put Clayton Howard on the stand, because Clayton Howard don't care. He want to get his bread. So he gonna have to say in court what he said in that lawsuit, or he gonna throw that lawsuit out. Now remember, Clayton Howard won at Cassie too in that lawsuit. Here's the thing: Cassie's already got full immunity from the government. They won't charge Cassie regardless of what he say, because Cassie took a deal with the government. This is the part y'all not realize. Mm-hmm. And I believe they give Diddy a new trial before Diddy even gets to court to try to see if he can get released, right? Because he'll have to do a file an appeal to get released on bail. They'll come with superseding indictment, and they ain't gonna release that nigga. And you go through this whole shit again. In fact, I think this helps out the government push his case back as far as possible. Keep pushing him back. Keep trying to make it even harder for Donald Trump to come and F with that, right? Man, oh man, oh man. This dirty work right here, y'all. I try to tell everybody that someone listen to me. So I don't think he'll get acquitted, but I think that either he'll get a new trial or the judge is gonna say bring your ass on the 3rd and get sentenced. Uh-uh. You said, will they give him bail for the new case? Hell no. Because he's already been in there on the Mann Act, and they didn't give him bail before. Remember, if the judge is going to give him bail, he gave him bail as soon as Diddy got found guilty of not guilty of the RICO in the racketeering. I thought about it, y'all. The government, it's a 50-50 chance with Diddy getting a new trial or the judge rejecting that acquittal in the trial. I'm telling y'all, bro. That nigga, he think he want a new trial. He not getting no new trial. He not gonna like what they bring forward in a new trial. Trust me, the government been working. And they mad about that shit that happened to Marine Comey too. I'm talking about the people that's underneath Jay Clayton. And Jay Clayton been hammering on Diddy. Man, they finna watch what I tell y'all. When I read the paperwork, I was wondering, why did they said that all the male workers were victims as well of Diddy's. Well, guess what? If you think about it, and I don't believe the judge will reject both. The reason why I don't think the judge will just outright reject both, this is why he's thinking about it. Because the judge, in my opinion, he knows as well the government got something up their sleeve on this nigga. I'm telling y'all, you watch what I tell you. They're immediately going to come out talking about they're going to charge him with more counts on the Mann Act. They're going to charge all those other people as victims against Diddy. And what they're going to do is they're going to get those people to testify against Diddy. Or, remember, they can use it against them because they already question those people. And those people already got immunity to cooperate. Meaning, the sex workers. That's why none of them dudes was up there getting prosecuted for the prostitution charge. Remember with the Punisher, everybody else told y'all. Remember this. The Punisher was like, man, I was scared when the feds came, man. They all took deals. You know what that means? That means they ass belong to the feds. That means anytime the feds need you in any case, they can call you back up and you have to testify against Diddy. If you don't, guess what? They'll charge you. That's the price of cooperation. So, yeah, man. Right? As I told y'all, the worst thing Diddy could do is get another trial. The worst thing. Nah, they're not gonna have Audi pull up. I already know what they're gonna do. They're gonna hit that nigga with more. They're gonna hit him with a whole whammer. He gonna be so upset when they come with them superseding indictments. Well, I'm eating nachos. Y'all know I like my nachos hot. But I had to bring this to y'all because I wanted to do this video before the judge come back with his ruling so y'all can know what I think. And shout out to the subscriber who sent me the donation. You understand what I'm saying? And I appreciate y'all. Oh, and by the way, Metro Boomin just got found not guilty of R word. He just got found not guilty. Right? All right, you guys. So, right? This is not the sentencing verdict. I'll tell y'all something. See, Diddy's team, they're talking about a new trial because they think, first of all, Diddy's team want more money. Diddy gonna have to pay them more money for a new trial. Diddy's team think that, and here's the problem, the feds have already got all these people attached to them. So they can't go against the feds. They've already signed and worked with the feds. They've already sold to the feds. Cassie, Jane, all of the sex workers that didn't get charged in the Fed case. So, bro, and remember, in the Mann Act, it's up to 10 years on each count. Now imagine if Diddy get hit. He's been hit with 2 counts right now. That's what they charged him with. But the way that the government is talking in the recent paperwork, they're talking like they're gonna hit Diddy with 10 counts because they talked about the 2 victims, Cassie and Jane, and then they said 8 of the male workers were all victims as well. But if you do 8 plus 2, that's 10. That's 10 different counts. 10 years each. Mm-hmm. Because see, Diddy know. He know. Diddy know they about to nail his ass. See, I'm gonna tell y'all something. If Diddy thought he was gonna walk free, he would just let this shit alone. Now, if the judge denies Diddy everything, man, he finna hit that nigga with the goddamn Holy Ghost on October the 3rd. But I think it's a 50-50 chance. I'm gonna say it again. I believe it's a 50-50 chance. 50-50 that Diddy get a new trial or the judge say come to sentencing on October the 3rd. We're gonna find out. And that's the reason why I did this today. So somebody can say BS. I'm not telling you. I studied that paperwork. If Diddy goes to a new trial, I'm willing to bet anybody in the world the feds already got new charges waiting on this dude. They're not going with the 2 charges he got right now. They're gonna rack that shit up on his ass. And you watch what I tell you. I'm telling you what my thoughts are. I just told you. I think the judge is gonna get that nigga a new trial. He gonna consult. He gonna do his whole due diligence. I'm 50-50. I don't think he's getting acquitted, but I'm 50-50 on a new trial versus charges. 50-50 because they know. Because remember, the prosecution they work down there in the federal buildings. So the judges and the prosecutors, all these motherfuckers know each other. They know what's up, bro. If they hit that nigga with a new trial, bro, watch all the new charges that's gonna come on that nigga. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they can add new charges. They just can't add old charges. They can add new charges. That's why I told y'all, it's important you read the paperwork. And the paperwork that the government put, they didn't say Cassie and Jane was victims alone. They said all 8 of the sex work, the men, were victims too. And remember, all 8 of those dudes had to cooperate with the government to not get charged. So that means the government can call them anytime. Anytime they got a new case against Diddy for this right here, the government can call them. They got to go testify, or else their deal with the government is done, and the government gonna come get them. Mm-mm. Cassie and Jane were not. Cassie and Jane will not be afraid to testify again. They're gonna have to testify again. You know what I mean? They're gonna have to. And if Jane changed her story any way, shape, or form, they're gonna charge her ass. What? Watch what I tell you. See, Diddy's so anxious to get out. He's willing to do anything to get out of that situation he's in right now. He's willing to do anything, right? What he don't know is what he thinking about is gonna backfire, bro. Because the last thing you want to do is make them come at you with a new trial. They gonna add shit on. And you know how I know that, y'all? Let me give y'all a case in point. I'm gonna give everybody in here a perfect example. And this is how y'all know I study law. Here's a perfect example of what I'm talking about. Harvey Weinstein. Remember, now think about what I just told y'all. They gave Harvey Weinstein a new case. Harvey Weinstein fought to get a new case. They gave Harvey Weinstein a new case. And what did they do in Harvey Weinstein's new case? They brought in that minor. They brought in a new They brought in more charges against Harvey Weinstein in his retrial. Harvey Weinstein got a retrial. And what they did was they brought a minor in and buried his ass. And they found him guilty for that. And Harvey Weinstein crying about that right now because he didn't see that. They didn't charge him with that the first time because they brought it too late. So he wasn't charged with that girl in the first trial. But they brought it, look that up. They just brought that in his retrial and he was found. So he got, on some of his counts, he got to have another trial because they had a hung jury. But he got found guilty because they brought those other charges on his ass. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all this. I think they're going to get this nigga another trial. And they're going to bring harder charges against that nigga. That's exactly the playbook they did with Harvey Weinstein. Go look. Think I'm lying. Go look it up. And Harvey Weinstein got a retrial. He appealed. They gave him a retrial. And in the retrial, Harvey Weinstein was shocked because they came with more charges against that nigga. And they brought that young girl in there. Look it up. See, when you in the casework and you reading the paperwork like me, can't no nigga tell me otherwise. No. Go look. The worst thing Harvey Weinstein tried to do was get a retrial because it let them bring in more people. They added more people to that case. And that's all they're going to do with Diddy. They're going to see that all the people they talked to that they didn't add, they're going to add that shit. They going to nail his ass to the wall if he get a retrial. The only thing he's going to do is his lawyer's going to bleed him for more money. Straight up. Diddy want to play Russian roulette. He wanted to roll the dice. That's on him. The only way Diddy wins is if he walks out with an acquittal today. If Diddy walks out with an acquittal, he wins. He wins. Today, he wins. Right? Right? Now, here's another reason why I think they're going to give him a new trial. I think they're going to give him a new trial to avoid Diddy's team to be able to have any appeals. See, the judge is smart as hell. The judge going to make sure that whatever he ruled, Diddy can't do something to get around it to make him look bad. Right? That's what that judge going to do. So, the judge would give Diddy a retrial, knowing the feds coming with more shit on his ass. Now, I doubt he would get bail. They haven't gave him bail already. He'll have to file another appeal, but it won't mean nothing because they just gonna hit him with more charges in between now and then. That's all they gonna do. So let's wait and see what happens. Y'all let me know what y'all think.
Hey, I really appreciate you guys for supporting the channel, supporting the network. Like, share, and subscribe. Once again, there are links. Get the free membership on our website. That way you guys won't miss any of our news update stories or videos. They're all on the website, ticketvmedia.com. You go over there. You can go right to the members part and become a free member. That way you guys will get all the updates. Also, straight drought weight loss formula. Make sure y'all go tap in and copy some of that, as well as subscribing to our podcast show. Link will be pinned at the top of the chat down there below. And also, we just appreciate all y'all who support the channel. Cash App, PayPal.